Welcome to fucking tea time.
Welcome to our third edition of Tea Time. Grab a mug, have a seat, and join us. Put milk in it if you want. I don't. I'm dairy free. But our host today for this tea time is the lovely and wonderful Nico. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Nico.
Hello. I'm Nico. I am from A Fool's Quest, and I have been listening to Roll Gay Roleplay since episode 1 because Tisha told me about it, and so I've been hooked.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here.
About the audio quality.
Oh yeah, you were there for the bad times.
I mean, we had them too, so.
That's what first seasons are for.
Yeah, exactly. Starter season.
Training wheel.
Y'all want to go around and introduce yourselves now that people can see your faces?
Hi, I'm Tisha.
And who do you play,
This
TT?
is what I look like.
Who do you play?
Who do I play?
Yeah.
Benny. Benny.
And
Benny
then-
the Rogue Druid. I'm not sure where I'm going here.
I'm Brandon. I play Deck.
I'm Katie, and Tisha stole my spot after Chris. So
But Chris,
I'm just trying to stay in order.
Chris hasn't gone yet.
I did.
Katie. I just stole Chris's spot.
Yeah, I started. Am I the new Chris?
Late.
This is...
I'm Chris. I'm the DM, and I play everyone else.
we're going before the other. Okay, fine. I'll go last.
I counted to 3. I did Tisha's method.
No, we were laughing and talking and being jolly. Okay.
Honey, we're 2 minutes in. This thing's already falling apart.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I play Saint Eve of Laurent. You know, I am not the villain of this story, truly. It is someone else. We're going to get into details soon. But it's not me, bitch. Y'all can scrunch up your faces as much you fucking want to. But it's not. Yeah, and what's going
right.
on?
Wait, don't you tell us what your new sexuality is? Are we done with that bit now that the campaign's
shit.
over? Or
My new sexuality is Jan should have gone home and not Scarlet Envy.
Stop it. Whatever. You're wrong. You're just wrong. I stand Jan.
Like I said,
I'm Team Jan.
Scarlet
Screw
Envy
it.
showed growth. Scarlet Envy has shown growth this season, and Jan is still delusional. Okay,
Scarlet
run
Envy
that
puts me to
back 10
sleep.
times and tell me
Puts
I'm
me
wrong.
to sleep.
Tell me I'm wrong. Exactly.
I want Jiggly back.
The rest of us sitting here.
we can't do this for 20 minutes, and I know if I have input, it's gonna...
We can't do this for 20 minutes because that's what we do.
Usually gets edited out.
It is.
We could have a whole separate podcast of RuPaul's garbage.
Eureka O'Hara's going to win.
But this is Tea Time. It's about our show. Our show.
Not RuPaul's.
Right.
Redacted.
If she wants to buy it, though, it's for sale. Just throwing it out there, RuPaul.
I take my money in ones.
We do have a price tag.
$700 million.
Speaking of RuPaul, do we have some questions that we wanted to do?
Yeah. All right, cool. So if you haven't joined these guys for Team Time or Tea Time before, we are going to discuss...
Teen Time. Let's do
Team
that.
Time. Team Tea
only
Time.
for the
very
cool
like
teens.
heterosexual being gay.
Sexually neutral.
All right. It's like that. He's straight, but it's a gay porn.
Oh, gay for pay.
Time. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay.
That's me. I'm gay for pay.
Sorry.
Now that
Go
we've
ahead,
gotten that
Nico.
out of the way.
My bad.
I'm so sorry you're moderating this podcast.
I'm going to keep powering through.
Please.
Tea Time is a little different. We're doing it live for Patreon members so they can ask all the steamy hot questions in real time, which is something that the show will continue to do for all the future Tea Times, is what they told me to say. Depending on how well
Yes.
this goes.
Yes.
I mean, that might be up for a debate later.
Shade.
If you want to submit questions for the next Tea Time, make sure to join the Discord and follow Roll Gay Roleplay on all social media platforms if you are on social media. Yeah. And here's where Nico comes in. So let's hand it over to Nico. Hi, guys. I'm Nico. Let's get started. You finished your campaign with your original characters in this podcast. And, I mean, how are you guys feeling? Are you happy with how that campaign ended?
Absolutely not.
I am. I'm fine with
Absolutely
it.
not.
I thought it was pretty
I'm
great.
happy.
I'm so happy.
Benny was the protagonist.
I'm just glad that Eve didn't take anyone else down permanently with him.
I'm gonna say, well, Eve is also like not permanently taken down, which he would have preferred then turning into like what, a gingerbread man? Is that what I am now?
5-inch doll.
A
Yeah,
little doll.
you're little Eve.
Oh yeah, like I'm fucking like not the gumdrop buttons. That's me now. Yeah, fuck this campaign because Eve had a whole storyline that was supposed to end in like fire and brimstone and him like walking away unbothered, and y'all ruined it.
I mean, you exploded.
Yeah, what Katie just said, we didn't really do anything. You were the one that blew up.
I just think it's so interesting because if this was literally any other storytelling format, there would have been that huge boss battle at the end, right? That's just how the story comes to the high point. Instead, it's just like, pop, bye.
I think I got one attack during the last fight.
No, like
Yeah,
One
I
turn.
want.
that's the thing is that Eve had no intention of hurting any of y'all. Eve just wanted Yonsei out of the picture. And then all of a sudden, let's talk about. I don't know if this is a question, but this is where I'm the most miffed. I like that word. Let's
word.
talk about Hogum all of a sudden being good again because I killed Anamik and he killed a queen. He snatched up Daisy, betrayed a god, and all of a sudden Anamik was the final straw. I can't do this. I am good again.
Yeah.
And he changed up his whole fucking storyline. Bitch, like that was some bullshit. It was like slightly more bullshit than Tara realizing that I was right next to her in magical darkness and moving away. But like
11 feet.
It was on Amik. That was the big trigger for Hogum. And it's like Mark was messaging me when that was happening, and he's like, I'm not standing for that. Like I'm making Hogum's choices. And I was like, okay, I don't have control anyway. Have fun.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was, and Mark was just like, I'm like, okay, if you want to turn, if you're turning right now, go for it. Turn on Eve. I'm all for it. I mean, because in Hogum's mind, Hogum and Anamik were going to make it out of this alive no matter what. So when that didn't happen, it's just, you lost your ally,
If
and
I
a really strong
truly-
ally.
right.
I
was
beefed
gonna
him up
say
with
if I
spells.
truly like was going to do it, we were like, if I was truly going to be that evil bitch, I was going to attack like Tara, Jet, and Benny. We would have not have gotten out of there alive. So he should have known that. So I'm saying, like, girl, like, y'all can't see. I'm so mad y'all can't see my face, but there's confusion. Okay, okay.
It's fitting that Hogum was your undoing, and you were also your own undoing.
In the end, literally, okay. I guess I can talk about that too. The snap decision. Literally, there were too many fuckeries that were happening at the same time, and I was just like, "Fuck it." So I was just like, "Let's end it now." This episode is going on way too long, and Eve is over it. Eve is Jonathan. So as Katie read for me, and she came for my whole day. Yeah, Eve was over it, and so Eve said, "Okay, well, if I can't just get my way, let's end everything, and we're just gonna move on from this, you know." And that's what happened. Which is still very on brand for Eve.
It was so good, though. It was so perfect. Like, I really stressed over that episode. I was stressing so much over that episode, and I'm so happy the way it turned out. So happy.
It turned into
There probably should have been more repercussions for Hogum. Yeah. He did still kill a queen.
literally
I mean,
betrayed the entire
Loxif
kingdom.
did the axe.
Queendom.
I mean,
He betrayed the entire queendom and then said, Anamik is where I draw the fucking line. Like, okay, girl.
I mean, so it sounds like 3 out of 4 of you are yes, you're happy with how it ended. And then Jonathan, right? I think that's...
And then let a bad, petty bitch stay dead. Let me stay dead.
This is my moment.
So what were some of your favorite moments from the campaign? I'm going to make Chris go last, actually. So anybody else can go first.
I'll go first. Sorry, Katie. You go first, Katie. Go
No, it's
ahead.
okay.
Please, please, please.
This
I
would be
always
more
interrupt you.
appropriate to our conversation if Katie started talking and then you talked over her.
right.
Yeah.
more traditional.
Okay, Katie, start talking, and then I'll just go. Go ahead.
Okay.
So my favorite moment was when Tara Deck put the fucking swords, did the sword skirt, and they came alive. That was probably my favorite moment in this entire campaign. because we all saw Tara just fucking collecting swords like a weirdo, and nobody said anything. And then we're on this boat, and then all of a sudden, clang, 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 boom! These swords are just like attacking pirates. It was a really, really, really cool moment.
Very clever.
Yeah, it was.
They call me the trolley. Clang, clang, clang.
With the trolley. Are we doing show Tuesday?
That was my favorite moment.
Sorry, that's an old. Anyone who's like under 20 isn't gonna. Maybe under 30? God,
Half our listeners. Yeah, most of our listeners.
Most of our listeners. My favorite moment has to be. It probably has to be Benny finding Hogan's rope with the queen. Because that's like
Net.
gotcha moment 9,000. Like, Benny was real, like, on Hogan's side the entire time of this entire series. And then to find out that Hogan's been, like, Agatha all along, like, I loved it. Like, that was gold.
And then she tried to keep the secret even though you were the first one to find the net to begin with. It's pretty good. My personal favorite, I think I have a couple, but like mine is also Tara's, of course, where she single-handedly, without anybody else's help, took down a dragon on her own.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else around, just
That was
In 2
super
rounds.
badass.
in 2 rounds.
That was.
2
rounds.
rounds.
It's very
I just,
impressive.
I even had extra spell slots. I didn't even need them. It's great. I'm wonderful.
Nerfed.
But also when we met Hogan's mom, Sally Ride was like in Shrek's Work Bay. It was the most awful and wonderful experience.
Oh, her name was Sally Ride, right?
Sally
Yes.
Ride.
And Katie's entrance line of like,
You killed my
Yes,
dog.
Katie's entrance line was
killed
so
my dog.
You
good.
killed my dog, you fuckers. Like, oh my gosh.
Got really to the point. I think my favorite part is like when Benny was like, essentially, I'm keeping a secret notebook on everyone. Like,
Notebook.
MySpace ranking everyone on the ship. Like, and just,
No sleep.
yeah, no, like the devolution. And then like the when it all came to a head between Benny and Jet, it was really great because I was freaking out as a person, also as a player, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I literally don't have any other answers for you except we had to stay together because of the game, but there's no other like in-story explanation than I just chose to tag along. Like,
yeah, it's hard to mush together like 2 new cast members onto an already existing campaign.
Especially whenever you have like
Yeah.
Eve and Benny and they're psychotic. Like, it was hard just
Right.
walking
Who
into
would
that.
join?
Right.
Who would join
Benny is
this?
not psychotic. She's neurotic. There's a difference.
I'm so sorry, you are completely correct. Especially when you
you.
have 2 sociopaths like Eve and Benny.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That works better.
I think you guys did it really well, though. I think the combining of the group came together pretty well as far as, I mean, you all seemed to mesh pretty well, and the story just kept on rolling. So I think, yeah, hats off to you guys all to y'all for doing that. Good job.
I think the story turned into Eve and Benny do something stupid or obnoxious or diabolical, and Tara says, "Why are we here?"
About right.
Yeah.
Tara and Jet sit in the background and go, "Are you fucking? Do you see this shit?"
And then Jet like goes into gay panic.
oh, for real.
Right. Runs towards the nearest tentacle she can see.
Save me.
That octopus had a spell on me.
yeah, Katie. That's what they all say.
So what about you, Chris? What's your favorite moment from the show?
I mean, my favorite moment is probably the end where it was all like revealed. I think the big Eve reveal is my favorite moment. My favorite DMing creation though is Alvin's almost useful items in every shot beyond that. It is so fun to create something so useless, and then you guys found uses for some of them.
I hated that thing.
I really enjoyed that part of it, but like the reveal at the end, especially when it was obvious that you guys really didn't know that Jonathan was with me the entire time.
No
The
fucking
fuckery.
idea.
The actual like the
Yeah.
pause that happened, and I don't think I edited it out. Like it was a real pause where like Tisha and Brandon were like, "What the fuck just happened? Hang on."
Yeah,
and then we had to keep playing.
People were talking about this in the spoiler discussion in the Discord
Yes.
this whole time, but
Somebody got it like right on the nose, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Jonathan, are you reading this?"
Yeah,
I was just quiet about it.
I ignored it because I didn't want people in my business. Like, mind your
Same.
business.
how dare you know exactly what's going on?
Hello, don't.
Yeah, keep your theories to
Hello.
yourself.
Right.
Blocked, kicked from the
This is
Discord.
called the spoiler discussion, not ruin the entire story discussion.
Right.
I loved what you did with the wish spell too. I think as a DM that was great, having the level 20 or the level 1, and then you gotta jump into character when you depending on what you get. That was brilliantly done. I loved it.
Thanks. That was a fun like discussion to like work through with each other. Like all of us kind of had an idea as to how it was going to work, and Brandon seemed more on my side than on the player's side.
I think the initial discussion from Jonathan was like, we can turn 20 whenever we want, however much we want. we like all had to pitch in a little bit, and it took several discussions.
A day. It was once a day.
Once a day.
And y'all said, hell no.
Yeah, but like a level 20 wizard, if Tara went level 20, we would have another wish spell.
That's
True.
That's true.
That was the one thing I had to be careful of is like having characters, giving you guys characters that had the wish spell, because then it's just gonna. But I think I did give somebody a character with a wish spell.
You did me, Fanny Yoakley, remember? But Fanny Yoakley was so like up Jet's butt
So
that
close.
she just did whatever Jet wanted.
Girl power.
Man, that's another favorite moment though. Fanny
Girl
Yoakley.
boss.
That Fanny Oakley
That's-
was fantastic.
That's a whole moment.
I
Loved
think
her.
I would like for us to do a new story arc. It is just Fanny Oakley and friends.
Whole side
We're
campaign.
the and friends, and we're all
On the
like
Patreon, that'll be.
super like anti-masculine, man
writing that
hating.
down.
Like I would eat it up.
I feel like Fanny Oakley was on. She was for the patriarchy.
No, she was not.
Fanny Yoakley was a turn of the century feminist. So she was more of a let's take what we can get. Women can be almost as good as men can be. Look, we just have to stick together kind of ideal, not really a feminist per se, but mostly just telling people women can be almost as good as men if we put in a lot of work and effort. That was
I
Fanny
was going for
Oakley's
like
idea.
pure misandry. Like I thought you were going.
Oh, no, I was not
Okay.
going for misandry for Fanny Oakley. It was more of a terrible, terrible feminism. It was. Yeah, she was a terrible feminist. Let's do
Yeah. Great gunslinger.
it. Great gunslinger, yeah.
The character that you whipped out from that little bit of research was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to join like some improv classes, especially like how much I froze on the sudden character shift.
I mean, Slavic yes is one of my favorite things too.
Yeah, Slavic, yes, Jesus.
Gave up on the accent.
Or, oh my god, Wilhelm Shakespeare. I forgot about him.
Wilhelm.
How I got the final kill on Michelle.
Oh, Wilhelm. Yes, I loved him. He basically killed Michelle, right? He killed
Yes,
Michelle.
he did kill
as
Michelle,
a level
yeah.
1. Mm-hmm.
Granted, we were out of combat, but that's beside the point.
Still counts.
Yeah.
So probably you should have changed back by then, but we did what we did. Yeah.
Can we keep this in the next story arc? This wish.
What? The wish spell?
The 20
You want
wish
another
spell.
level 20 wish spell out of nowhere as
Yeah.
like a gift?
Yeah.
Oh.
Precisely.
Can we start the game with a scroll, you know?
I think that it's just very on brand for us.
Well, maybe we'll work out something for the next story that's just as entertaining.
Okay, let's go on to the next one because I'm curious about this. When was the moment it all came together for Chris and Jonathan in terms of the backstory and going evil? Evil.
Evil.
Oh my god. Is that a pun on purpose?
No.
It was
Evil.
early March that Jonathan and I had figured it out. So we had known since, I think, Shrek's work. Mm-hmm. And he had already been collecting body parts at that point, and that's when like Jonathan and I were discussing what was going on with the body parts and what we were going to do, and that's kind of when the story shifted to it. One of the things that happened is when Jonathan and I decided it, we had a pre-goss episode, and I don't know if it made it into the pre-goss, but that same day that Jonathan and I decided what we were doing, Tisha said, "What if Benny's the bad guy?" And Jonathan immediately dove in and shut it down because we'd already picked Jonathan for it.
There could only be one Supreme.
I had to mute my microphone because I was like, oh shit, what do I say? And Jonathan just took hold, shut it down. This is why it can't work. And then Tisha's like, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. And we just went on with our day.
Damn, you just got
LMAO.
gaslit, Tisha.
Man.
Yeah, wow.
That's what Eve does to Benny all the time.
So I was giving Jonathan like little missions throughout this to see if he could manipulate you guys into doing things. And the one that worked, well, should have worked to his advantage is when Locksif gave Eve 2 keys for the rooms, Jonathan knew ahead of time that Jet was going to be reintroduced with her brother. And the way to keep Jet out of combat was to room with Jet. Because Eve was going to tell you guys, if Eve could tell Benny and Tara separately about Annemiek being captured, Jet would be left alone and kept out of combat, leaving him one less enemy in the final fight.
So that's why when we were like, let's all stay in the same room, and Jonathan was like, no, it'd be so much more convenient if we were in 2 separate rooms. Okay. That made no sense to me at the time, but
Yeah,
now
I
it
was
does.
like, why am I rooming with Tara? And then I was like, well, maybe Benny and Tara have formed a relationship, and that's where we're going. But I wanted to room with Jet from the beginning because there was something that I could do for Jet and her
Right.
brother. I was doing like a fucking omen reading or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then somehow we didn't do that because Jonathan is a master manipulator.
That's why I'm in therapy.
It was so brilliant. Jonathan, you played it so well. So well. No one caught on. Listeners may have caught on, but none of these people caught on.
I was just so
No.
heated from you calling me inept without spell slots that I just didn't catch. Like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Let's just go. I want to go to the room. I don't care.
It's the fuckery. Fuckery 9000.
There was also a point in the precast where Brandon had said, I'm convinced. This was before, we weren't even recording at this point because Katie and Jonathan hadn't joined it. It was just the 3 of us. And Brandon had said, I'm convinced Eve's the bad guy. And Tisha was just like, no, there's no way that's going to happen. Chris isn't going to give up his story like that. That's not going to happen. And like, it was never discussed after that. But Brandon pretty much had it at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that we're going to make Jonathan play a character that is the bad guy.
And like every other episode, Jonathan was like, I just need you guys to trust me. Like, stop being so antagonistic towards my character. Just like, trust me.
Yeah, Jonathan kept saying that too. Yes. Jonathan had the perfect fucking alibi. He was like, no, I'm just playing a character. I just want to have fun like you guys are having fun. Quit doing this to me. Fuck you, Jonathan.
Yeah, good luck with that again. That's not happening next campaign.
Not at all.
We're fucking. You know what? Let's team up together and kill Jonathan's character first episode.
We just got the artwork done for him. No, we're good.
Oh, that's so true.
Yes.
There was another thing. Anytime I had you guys roll and I didn't tell you what was going on, it just happened that every time Jonathan was getting away with everything. So Jonathan was teleporting in and out to go talk to Locksif and to go talk to... Yeah, so there was plenty of times that he could have been caught, just the rolls weren't there.
Yeah, Chris kept saying, like, if they ever ask to use your teleportation ring, like, you have to, like, stall them and say no. And I think only one time in, like, between April and the last episode, like, someone asked to use teleportation ring, and I was like, oh, we can't. Oh, no. God. Oh, no.
It's on cooldown.
And it worked out. It worked out beautifully.
It worked out so well.
It did.
Yeah, because Locksif came and picks us up.
Yeah, Locksif even said, I can't use my ring, and I didn't catch on to it. And I'm like, okay, well, Locksif has Locksif stuff to do. Sure, maybe he used it already. Oh, wow. So he had started collecting body parts. So that was around the hag
The hag fight.
episode,
That's when it started,
right?
I think. Yeah. Oh, no.
Was it that? I think it was before that.
It was.
I think he had been collecting body parts since before that, because we started with like the giant's kneecaps and stuff, like way back then.
Mine and Katie's second episode, we fought those forest hags, and he collected body parts.
Yeah, the bearded woman he was collecting stuff from too.
heart.
Yeah, you're right. So like he had been having them, and Jonathan and I were just like talking about what the body parts are for, and in deciding what that story would be, it was kind of just really perfect for him to be. To his own agenda. In Eve's mind, Eve is not evil, but villains won't call themselves villains.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's the hero in their own mind.
No one's the villain in their own mind. Everyone's the hero
Actually,
in their own mind.
if y'all had let me have my way, Eve would have been the hero if you'd have let Eve have his way.
Because I remember Eve arguing, like, Beyonce's not doing a good job. Like, obviously, I could be so much better than her. Why would you want to keep an inferior being around?
And then y'all were just like, fuck it. Nope, we're not listening to anything you have to say. You've done too much shit. No. And that's where I said, okay. And then the Staff of Power was brought out, and I died.
And none of us looked up what the fucking Staff of Power does, so no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
That was another conversation with Jonathan and I. That was when he showed it to me. I was like, "You see what's going to happen, though, right? Because it's like 360 damage." He's like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, I was gonna tear this bitch down. Like,
I'm just so happy that roll killed you instead of teleporting you to a different dimension. I think that's such a better ending.
Oh, agreed.
I think.
Oh, agreed.
I think I really was down to like just lose the role. I wanted to have like you know the villain's like final goodbye or some shit, but I forgot the Staff of Power explodes you. Like you don't just die, like you disintegrate. And I was like, girl, there's no final farewell for you. You just go. Like,
right, it's like a teleport spell, except you teleport over there and over there.
And it's all visible.
Yeah, I think that it may be my own personal thing about Benny having trouble letting go of stuff as to why she brought you back as a doll.
Do you know that Eve is not a stuff? Eve is an actual factual person with his own feelings. You can't just let him.
Yeah, but Benny doesn't see it that way. Benny worshipped Eve. And now all of a sudden Eve is gone. She would have trouble letting that go completely. What would she do with herself? She worshipped the fucking ground you walked on. So now she's all alone, but this God is giving her a wish. And she's smart enough to know that, hello, you tried to kill a God. So maybe if she put you into a small thing that can't hurt anyone. I don't know what else Minnie would have done. I don't know what other wish she would have made.
I literally said, take Yonsei's place. That's literally what I said. You could have been the better Yonsei.
Why didn't you use
Benny
your wish to do what I tried to kill you to do?
I was not trying to kill Benny. I was not trying to kill Benny.
You broke your staff. You might not have been trying to kill us at first, but you tried to kill us with that fucking staff.
No, it wasn't like, oh, this is done with murderous intent. This is, I'm over it. That was a selfish move on my part. And if you...
I'm over it, and so are you and you.
Yeah. It just happened.
I'm over it for all of us. Here's some grenades.
It was like, y'all were just products of my final decision, but you were not in the equation.
Yeah, well, you are a product of Benny's final decision. So
I will not.
I mean, you are. Like, that sucks. That sucks for Eve. But she created Benny. Or, sorry, he created Benny. Eve created Benny.
So, I don't see the point of me turning into a
So
gingerbread
Benny
man.
created Eve.
And now Benny has
help
created
for
Eve.
Oh, how the tide tables have turned tables.
kids, don't eat Tide Pods.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Questions?
Katie, does that answer your I want to know what's going on with the whole Benny and Eve thing, or do you have follow-up questions to that chaos?
No, it's just like, it was just such an intertwined relationship, right? And I feel like in a world of magic and monsters and fighting all the time, it's kind of really easy to be that attached to someone. But in real life.
So if we go back before, we're going to do a whole story arc on Benny and Eve. But if we go back before that, so Benny was a child of she had multiple siblings. So many siblings. She was only attached to one sibling. She really loved that one sibling. And he went missing. And they never found him. So her whole thing is loss and family. Like, that's her entire thing. And
Very
she also
Vin
is...
Diesel.
Yeah, and the brother that she lost was very much into free thought, free thinking. So she's a conspiracy theorist. Like, she'll fall prey to conspiracy theories. And that's just how
I know
made
that about
her.
myself.
Yeah. And that's who I dream to be. I'm not, because I'm too much of a realist. But I really like the idea of people who believe in conspiracy theories.
You like the idea of people that believe in it?
I do like the idea of people who believe in these conspiracy theories because it's so much emotion and feeling towards one specific thing. And that's how I wanted to create Benny.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
You know, we're
I
a
get
comedy
it. I get it.
podcast, but like we all have like really tragic backgrounds, except for like I guess Tara.
Well, I revealed in an Instagram video once that Tara wears kitten heels because she like broke her stilettos once. So that was pretty tragic.
That's pretty traumatic.
Traumatizing,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Benny doesn't have a traumatic background. Her brother
That's not trauma.
that she was close
That's kind
to.
of traumatizing,
That's trauma.
though.
Okay, yeah, all right, fine, bye.
You just gave us this heartfelt story. Benny's not trauma. Like,
That's very much like
Yeah,
what
you're
you would
right.
say to your therapist. I'm not traumatized. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't
It's
think
just
about
like,
it.
it's
you
not
know?
a big
just
deal.
cry sometimes.
Okay.
Deal with
Not
it.
big.
Yeah, it's fine. Everybody cries sometimes randomly, right?
So I'll see you next
We
week.
made a whole song about it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, do you guys have any other questions for each other before we dive into the Patreon questions?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Let's dive
Oh,
right in.
Cool.
Oh,
I actually
Oh.
have a question.
Yes.
are we
Please,
supposed to
sure.
talk
If-
over Katie? Isn't that how this works?
Yes.
That is how
Wait for
this
her to
works,
start
yes.
though, and then
Oh, got ya.
Bad idea. No ideas. Who do you think would have won if the staff power hadn't like exploded and had instead been like, yes, you have godlike power now? Because Jet crashed into that room and I had everything, like every bonus, every extra blessing, everything, like ready to destroy something. Like, who do you think would have won if it was all three of us versus?
So I will say this. Eve was the only one that could see in magical darkness, which worked in my favor and worked against me because Loxo can't see in magical darkness.
Yeah.
Hogum is a traitor, but like a doppelganger, but also still a traitor. So I don't know what he would have gone to y'all's side because he fucking Anamique. I guess that was such a fucking hair trigger.
That was
really
it.
salty about that.
I am very salty. You killed a queen, and then you said the Time Lord is where I draw the fucking line. Yeah, I think that I would have lost. I think I still would have lost.
I think it would have taken
The
at least
Staff
one
of
of us.
Power, if it didn't explode, the Staff of Power gave me like 3 6-level spells or something like that, or some shit like that. Like, I had an arsenal up my sleeve, but I think with like Eve just being a battering ram and like people thinking more cleverly, y'all would have just outsmarted Eve. Yeah.
I also think it was kind of
Fair
heavily
enough.
in our favor with like between the three of us and then like the disco stick, which didn't actually get a turn.
Shame.
Hogum, who was turning to our side. Anamique, who should have been on our side, but she died early. And then Daisy, who was just tied to a fucking chair the whole time, but apparently would have super helped us out in combat. We just had a lot going for us.
Initially, it was going to be Anna Meek has a gun to help you in combat, but that got shut down. And I had given my head, like in my head, I had to give you guys Anna Meek because what I was giving, like Hogum was going to do his bag of tricks right away, so he had an extra thing to attack with. Lockstiff was going to use True Polymorph on the desk to make the like. I had that planned out, so there was going to be 6 enemies against you guys. But I also kind of expected somebody to use their wish spell really quickly in the game, and no one did.
And possibly turn into a level 1 during the final battle?
Yes.
No way.
as soon as Hogum switched, I knew there was no way Eve was going to win.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I was certain Loxif was going to die. Loxif was near death before we rolled initiative, so we already had a problem there.
Right, because Benny decided.
Got hit hard.
Benny hit hard.
Well, you have a crossbow of instant murder.
He got hit hard, and then it was Benny's turn, and he got hit again.
We have fought actual factual monsters in the past where Benny has said, okay, well, has this person given me a reason to want to shoot them in the face? And she, like, questions her judgment. But Loxif says, I have ambition. And Benny says, no, the fuck you don't, bitch. And
What
No.
kind of propaganda? I have ambition.
That is not. No, Jonathan, the gaslighting is over.
For real.
Bitch killed someone.
the old queen hoops you had never met.
Who the fuck cares? It's still a person, and he killed them for
And
power.
you had a close bond with Loxif, and you were very close to Loxif, and you've questioned your motives for killing people, and you've had no relationship with them, but you're just like, is this the good thing or the bad thing to do? Oh my God, this is so crazy. But Loxif, your best buddy.
Okay, but you remember their conversation right before that fight? Where
Right
it was
before
like,
it.
ugh.
That's what did
Super
it.
tense.
That conversation.
was he
right
being like
before
a
it.
tense conversation?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
was he being like an asshole to you?
He
No,
was.
Benny was being an asshole to him.
Oh,
True.
Well, it was kind of
it was
both.
both ways, I think.
I think I met Benny's energy. I think that's what Loxus did.
Oh.
Is met it and then just kind of pushed it a little further.
No, the problem was for Benny is that she thought she could trust Loxif, and then Loxif didn't tell me something that he could have easily told me, and you did
Right, with the speaking stone.
with the speaking stone. I had just spoken to Loxif, and he
Yeah.
didn't give me this information, and then Eve comes to give me the information, and that's what did it. That was the line. Because before, she totally trusted Loxif, and then he was being weird about the queen, about the fight against the dragon, and then he didn't give me the information that he could have easily given me with a speaking stone. We had literally just been using them. And she was out. And then the button matched. The button matched his clothing. And that was
Which
it.
the button had matched for 3 episodes prior. As soon as you had the button, you could have checked Loxif, and you never did. You saw him twice.
That button was always going to be for Loxif?
Always going to be for Loxif.
I thought it was for Hogum's suit that he changed into.
I thought it was
Because you said
for
it smelled
Hogan's
musty.
suit, yeah.
Yes. Total red herring.
Weird. Okay.
Why was it musty then?
Because Loxif smells bad.
Okay, before we dig into any more of my plot holes, this is the middle of our episode, so I'm going to do our mid-game announcements now, which we are rebranding, and we're changing the name to Gay for Pay, because it's where the gays get paid.
Oh my God, I love it. Write that down.
Right? So the first part of Gay for Pay is, of course, thanking our newest patrons. Normally, I try and spread this out to be just like 2 or 3 people each episode, but since we are in between seasons, I'm going to get all of our new patrons in right now for tea time. So here we go. Thank you to our newest patrons, Zypher, Tristan, Lee, Miranda, Bert, Romello, and Ant. Thank you all so much for joining. If you are one of the all-access patrons, your dice are probably on the way by the time you hear this. And enjoy all my little love notes. If you have not checked out our Patreon, go to patreon.com/rollgayroleplay. We've got over 24 hours worth of bonus episodes on there, as well as our pre-GOS discussions, polls that help shape the game, character desktop wallpapers, and one of our newest benefits to all of our Patreon members is access to our live events. And our next live event is going to be on August 22nd, and we will be recording the first episode of Season 4. So our Patreon members get access to the unedited version of an episode. We aren't going to do live for every episode, but we are doing it for episode 1, and we will do more in the future. So, speaking of Season 4, I do not have a release date yet. We are still going to be on a hiatus for at least another month, so it will not start in August. We're looking at September. Once we do have a date, we will post it in our Discord and everywhere else, so you guys will know as soon as we know. But yeah, looking at late September, we're going to let summer pass before Roll Gay Roleplay comes back. We're going to take our summer break, guys, but Now, while season 4 may not come around until the end of September, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be throwing anything out there during that time. So just make sure you're subscribed to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And I will have something else out there at some point during August. Yeah. Before I pass this back to Nico and we continue with our listener submitted questions, I have a disclaimer that I need to make. Obviously, this podcast is an explicit podcast. Listener discretion is always advised. However, at the end of this episode, I have put together a moans track. And so this is a little project of mine. And it is meant to resemble what it would sound like if the cast and characters of RGRP were to have an orgy. And I want to be clear, it is completely fictitious. There is nothing actually sexual happening when I am doing this moans track. It is literally just me pulling audio from clips over the past 2 seasons and putting it together to make it sound like that. If the sounds of sex or sexual nature things do bother you, I suggest skipping the last part of this episode. I am putting it after our ending theme music. So you will have some time to turn it off if you don't want to listen to it. If you do, by all means, just know that it is completely fake and meant for comedic purposes only. I think that's enough of a disclaimer. Listener discretion, advised, really advised. I'm covering my ass here, so don't be mad at me about this, because, yeah.
Are we on to the patron questions now? Do we feel good? All right, thumbs up all around. Okay, this first one's from Kelatani, and I guess I should apologize before I go through all of these names for anybody that I mess up. So if I mess it up, ping me in the Roll Gay Roleplay Discord and tell me, and I'm sorry. But the first one's from Kelatani, and it is, what other D&D-like systems would be an option for the group? I have heard of a WoW version of 5e, which is in the work.
Okay. I saw one. I know I'm not the DM, but I'm just going to throw this out there. I sent y'all a link in the recording chat last night to Misfits and Magic.
Yeah.
And they use kids on bikes. They use that. And they modified it for their like Hogwarts-inspired D&D campaign. So it's called Kids on Brooms. But I just, like, if y'all just watch it, I just internalize that, like, how they play it. Like, I think maybe if y'all want to do it, like, it's really cute. So
this is, how many years have we been doing this campaign and we still haven't learned 5e?
We know 5e, we choose not to abide by 5e, okay?
How do twin spells work?
First of all, I learned that, and I fixed it. But now I actually did. But then Rogue Melina gave me that thing where I can double cast, so that's different.
Yes.
Did we ever land on who the tie goes to? Because that's been up in the air since the beginning.
It goes to
It goes to
whoever.
the roller.
The tie
Whoever
goes,
rolls the die gets it.
Tie goes to the
to
roller.
whoever continues.
Whoever's
the
gonna
storyline
get
with us.
hurt. Whoever's gonna get hurt. That's who the tie goes to.
No, that is not how I do it. Whoever's gonna get hurt? No.
It's whoever rolls the... Oh my god, we still can't figure it out.
It's whoever rolls.
I know. On attacks, it goes to the aggressor. On saves, it goes to the saver.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm gonna go with until I decide otherwise.
And
Well,
that's
the
on
campaign's
period.
over now.
It's done now, so...
So the next campaign, you don't get saving throws. Fuck them.
Right, you all
Tie
just
goes to me.
suffer the consequences.
I get them all.
But yeah, I took over that question. If anyone else had any ideas.
I think
I mean, I kind of like Monster of the Week. I feel like it kind of fits in with the theme of kids on bikes, like something weird in a small town kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
totally open to other systems. I would just need to learn them and, half learn them.
We've played several other systems in the Patreon. We've tried a couple.
We have, that's true.
I think that Monster of the Week uses the Apocalypse system, and I think that what is the lesbian one that I have that I talked about?
Oh shit.
Resource
Oh,
Fighting
yes,
lesbians?
sword
Thirsty
lesbians.
Sword Lesbians, yeah. That uses an apocalypse type system. I think that we would probably be open to doing something like that. I don't know if we would do that as a podcast or as like just Patreon one-offs.
Yeah, it's hard to say what we would do for the podcast. I'm so rooted in D&D
5e.
Like, it's just the only thing I know. Yeah, 5e is just like
Right.
what I've really focused on. I don't know that I would do anything else for a podcast as a DM. As a player, I would totally do it though.
And I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that once again, if they ever want to sponsor us, they can. But D&D Beyond is fantastic, like absolutely a godsend in creating
Yeah.
characters and streamlining all the bullshit. Because I'm never going to have 6 pages for one character ever in my life of like physical copies of that. Will never happen
Yeah.
in this lifetime or the next. Eve.
It is nice that you can just like click on a spell and see exactly what it all says.
Right.
And it is nice to see each other's roles too, just to keep us all honest.
I mean, who's lying?
It is
about
nice
their
that you can
roles
see
at
in
this
magical
point?
darkness when I'm moving towards you. But whatever, you know, like, okay,
Oh my god.
I'm bitter.
I know.
I like 5e because of the combination of role play and fighting. That role
Yeah.
play takes a bigger seat,
Yeah.
but the fighting is still exciting. You know, you still have so many cool spells or attacks that you can do, and you can explain them. I really, really enjoy 5e. But my only experience is with Apocalypse, the Apocalypse system, and Pathfinder. So I played a little bit of 3.5, but not enough. Like a couple sessions of a 3.5, but not enough to be able to tell anything.
Cool. All right. Next question comes from Marquee Moon. What will you miss most about playing these current characters?
It's really easy to play them. That sounds bad, but like I'm just used to playing Jet, if that makes any sense. I feel like a new class, new system, or like even a new character, there's just a lot of information to internalize.
Gotta make up a whole new dog that you're avenging
Right?
from the ground up. Tough times.
Ooh, aw, on the ground.
Think of another dog and then destroy them.
All right. Who else?
I mean, I loved Tara, but something that I didn't continue doing, which I probably should have, was her Vicious Mockery, which was like one of the... I took a feat at the beginning so that I could get that. But it's just not strong enough to keep doing, so I kind of dropped it after a while. But, I mean, that was my favorite part, was just getting to be a huge bitch and read enemies.
I'm gonna miss Vinny just in general. I feel like she's become a child of mine. I watched her go from the very beginning of, yeah, like, let's all just get along, to, maybe I should think about people's actions and how they affect others, to, yeah, that's not right, and I'm gonna stand up to you because it's not right. Just that whole, like, growth of Benny, I really, really enjoyed. And yes, me personally, I love the idea of conspiracy theories. It's just something that I add into every single one of my characters that I've ever played. And you know, Nico, we're playing a game where I have a conspiracy where birds aren't real. So
Yep.
I love conspiracy theories, and I love that I got to add that into this character and watch her grow from, you know, we just love everyone for no reason, and to we love these specific people, to even the people we love can do things that are wrong, and we have to stand up against that. So I really liked the growth of Benny. I just love Benny in general. I'm going to miss her so much.
Eve was a tragedy and a mess and hilarious. And I think the thing that I will miss about Eve is, like, I can't make... Like, the next character I make can't be the haughty, arrogant, soulless. Like, it's going to be too on brand. You know, like, Eve was such a niche character, and I think that's what I'm going to miss about it. Like, I can't replicate that. And also, I'm going to miss, like, the reactions I got from, like, people sending me messages like, your character is an asshole. You know, like...
Did they ever say character?
You are an asshole. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
or
they
like-
all associated.
People were like, why does your character do what your character does? You know, like, people sending me messages, like, out of pure confusion of, so collecting body parts, you know, like, how does that relate? did have one person early on try to like therapize me and say like,
Oh my god.
so like, does that relate to like real life? And I'm like, girl, no.
Unless
Possibly.
we're counting collecting dicks.
There's a condom in my room. So yeah, I think I am going to miss that a lot. But other than that, though, I'm ready to move on. I think the new character that I've made, I think, is going to top Eve.
Nice. Hot.
Very hot.
And you'll all be starting as the same group, like all together instead of a mixed match. So that'll be cool to hear too. To tailor that question to Chris, which NPC will you miss playing the most?
Loxiv or bust.
Not Joyle.
Oh, man. I mean, I love Skinner. I love playing Skinner.
Oh my god.
I think
Shut up.
Sally Ride's so much fun. Anamik. I love playing Anamik. I think those are the three that I'm going to miss the most, is Anamik, Sally, and Skinner. Skinner's just fun to play. It's a really easy voice, and I can just kind of get into that headspace really quickly. And it is just like a creepy outlet where I can just do whatever like horror thing I'm thinking of. I can kind of put it towards him, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Joyle. He's died so many times.
I feel like Joyle's
died
going to
so
make
many
an
times.
appearance in our new campaign.
I mean, I've had a couple listeners say they want him back. So
Is it just you with a different username?
Oh my god.
justice for Joyle. Hashtag justice for Joyle.
Oh no, I hate
No.
you. Shut up.
I'm a little concerned that you can get into the headspace for Skinner that quickly. That is that's a different level. I'm gonna miss Little Dilla myself. That Little Dilla was
I
wonderful.
did forget about them.
Yeah.
That's a great fun. They're a lot of fun to play too. Again, just a goofy dumb, a very easy headspace for me to get into. I got two things. I got goofy and dumb, or just real creepy.
Oh my
Those are
gosh, you know what? And I was just thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Because I saw a message in the Discord that someone was like, you know, I was heartbroken whenever Little Dilla decided to stay back. And you know, like, you played Little Dilla like as like comedic relief, you know, like, and it's so weird that like our listeners like gained like emotional attachment to some of the silliest characters that we had, like Hogum. So, you know, it's that was shade. It was pure shade.
I will tell you the reason why people probably gained like attachment to Hogum and to Lil Dilla is because Benny is so sweet and innocent, and she's so up this evil, mean character's ass. It was nice to see someone being nice to Benny.
Eve was not mean to you. Eve was manipulative, but not mean.
Eve was a little mean as a
doing this
listener.
for
Yeah, he was kind of mean. Funny for sure, but definitely mean is a word I would have attributed.
He was not nice to Benny most of the time.
But like Daisy mixes
Dismissive.
eggshells into your sandwich one time and you throw a knife at her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Neurotic.
One time.
And we're not going to say the other word.
Well, but Benny didn't know Daisy. So Eve has
Daisy was also a bitch.
even Benny grew up with each other basically was
Yeah.
the ideal. Benny has attachment whether Eve is fucking evil or whatever from the beginning.
I was
But
gonna say-
Daisy is just some random new person that is taking her Eve's attention, so she already doesn't like her.
Eve was definitely giving, like, I don't have friends, I have underlings, you know? And that was
Yes.
definitely how Eve operated with Benny. So, yes, I think that would be why people were attached to Little Dilla, because Little Dilla didn't treat Benny like an underling or like a minion. So, yeah.
All right, on to the next question. This one's from Dr. Miller 1. What is your biggest fear as the character you play?
Hand-me-downs, used clothing.
Oh my god.
I think my personal biggest fear of like actual human being when playing any character is voices, because I only have like 3. I have my voice, I have Southern, which is what Tara was, and I have whatever the fuck the Mirror Man was. Those are my voices.
Hello,
That
kids.
Mirror Man.
Right, giving us very
the Mirror
much
Man
Five
voice.
Nights at Freddy's.
Right. Oh, she's
My
versatile.
favorite.
Oh my god.
For me, my biggest fear in playing Eve was one being found out before it was time. Number two, like at any point in time, like I think if y'all's characters were a little more brash or like over it, like at any point in time, y'all just like killed me in my sleep and be like, I'm fucking sick of Eve. She does too fucking much. Beat her ass. Let's move on. You know, like.
You did get caught several times, but like
Yeah.
every time you did, you would bang pots and pans together and be like, "You didn't fucking hear nothing. I'm not bad. You're bad. Fuck you."
And I think for me playing any character, my fear is them becoming one note. Like, what you gonna do now? You ran out of comedy, so you just gonna take a body part, bitch? Like, okay, cool. You know, like, and I think that's my fear. So like, yeah, that's it. I don't want to say anything else because like, I don't want to give my next character away.
Yeah, I think it was just keeping all this information straight. Like, there's just a lot of, like, the thing with the voices, I'm definitely going to have to practice voices because they're so bad right now. And then, two, it's just having to keep track of everything. That was my least favorite part. It's not that there was too much. It was just they were all spread out between different, like, it's written down in this notebook, written down in that notebook, on, like, this digital notepad, in D&D Beyond, in Roll20. Like, it was just got too much at the end.
Speaking of that, do you feel like our notes, our in-game notes channel, does that actually help us now? Like, do we feel good with that?
Now it does.
Yes, it's
Absolutely.
very
Okay.
helpful.
Yeah.
Before my
Took us
notes were
forever to
just,
figure that out.
I have a misspelling of the word for mole hand on a sheet of paper. I think that's it.
I stand.
My biggest fear with any character that I played is that, like, I knew that any voice I didn't practice, I was going to lose the voice on. I was just trying to differentiate characters. Because you introduce so many NPCs, and eventually you're going to repeat something. And that's why some of them just had my voice, because it's just, I'm just going to describe them different. It's just trying to differentiate enough. Whenever I did do some type of voice, I wanted to make sure it was at least different. But, I mean, the Daisy Anamik, those two are so close in my head that I just flip back and forth. Especially when they're in the same room, you know? It's...
Yeah. Oh, it's just funny because you would say Locksif every time you had to be Locksif.
Locksif?
That is how I get into voice. Locksif! That's his voice. That's how I
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
Funny.
You have those keywords.
I didn't think about that as a DM because you have to make up these voices and you just decide. I think everything that I've ever DM'd, I based a character off of an actor or a character in a TV show, and that's what I went off of. That's interesting.
That's smart.
My biggest
I'm going to write that down.
My biggest fear, yeah, no, I do that all the time. I'm like, okay, well, we're playing.
Next
These
season.
people are all the Golden Girls, and this is Rose's voice, and this is Sophia's voice. Okay. My biggest fear with Benny, like playing Benny, was taking her too far, because in my mind I can spiral into way, way, way too far that would be annoying or not entertaining. So I think that was my biggest fear, is like is just taking her too far into this paranoia.
You took it pretty far.
Versus-
Yeah, no, I went really, really far, and the thing is I could have gone further, and I think that maybe I did take her a little bit too far, and that's what my biggest fear is, that I probably took her too far, made her less Benny. So that's my thing.
You tattooed a man's face.
No,
against his
that
will.
was Jet. That was Jet.
That was something.
That was
else.
Jet. That was Jet.
I feel like it was a
I was
combined
going to
effort.
say, you know, going off of that going too far, because that's what Eve did all the fucking time. I just remember RuPaul, which she would say, like, good, like, if you think it's too far, go further. And that's what I just kept doing until I became the evil character. So yeah, I don't know.
Just like RuPaul.
But there can only be one of us, Jonathan. So you're already fucking off the hinges. Tara and Jet are like, what the fuck are we doing here? And now now Benny's going crazy. I was just trying to find some middle ground, and I don't know if I ever found it.
As a listener, I don't think you went too far at all, especially looking now and seeing that Eve was gaslighting you. It would make sense that you were going more and more off the hinges. So I think you played pretty well. But I personally was sitting back with Tara going, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what is happening
Right?
here?
Like, am I the only one? What's going on?
Yeah, it was just wild.
That's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah,
wild
it's
is a very
it's
nice way to put it.
question. Yeah, it's just a question of how far is too far. And I think that me personally, I've lived my life, how annoying can I be before somebody tells me I'm annoying,
I literally wanted.
Wow, I felt that.
right?
For Benny, I legit wanted you, like, to reach a point, like, with everyone betraying you and, like, you knowing that you're probably the strongest person on the team. Like, for you to just wow out and just, like, shoot the fuck out of somebody.
She was
like,
close. She was really close. That conversation
probably
with
gonna be
Annemiek, then that conversation with Loxif where he was being like, fucking whatever this is. I don't know what this is in words.
All of this.
This means sassy bitch, yeah.
Well, just like trying to make me read between the lines. How
Right.
honest are you being? You're not transparent. So I think that she was close. She was real close. If you would have had maybe one more person come in and kind of betray her, that would have been it. She would have like hulked out.
Wow.
Yeah, you would have been
Like everybody's Ted. I don't care. You're
the
all
owner
dead.
of, what's her name? The owner of the store.
Oh, if Marie
Came in, she's just like,
Not
I
Ray.
am Mayic.
It was me all along.
Right.
Oh my god! Yeah,
And you
that's
just,
it.
like,
That's it.
pull
She
out
would
the
have
crossbow.
poked holes in all of her buckets, and then use those as a mask over her head, and murdered everyone. She would be the masked
God.
bucketeer murderer of
Jesus.
the entire realm.
Alternate universe. That would have been great.
Alternate universe serial killer Benny.
Would have been great.
The next question was if you could go back and change anything from the arc or maybe realize something that happened that could have fast-tracked the game, what would it be? For example, Benny using the rusty key. That came from Shana. But, I mean, is that Benny's go-to? If you could have changed anything, become the rust-faced basket musketeer? I don't know, like...
Vigilante.
vengeful spirit? Vigilante, yes.
If Benny could have changed anything, it would have been not to make out with what's his name, the guild.
Captain Flint.
Captain
Oh,
Flint.
yeah.
Straight man.
If Benny could have changed
Yeah.
anything, that's what it would have been. She would have not made out with Captain Flint. If I could change
It was a
anything,
weird hetero moment, yeah.
if I could change anything, it would probably be. I think it would probably be using the keys that she didn't end up getting to use, or it would probably be asking more questions. She would have probably rolled a lot more for insight and asked a lot more questions about Loxif, about Flint, about boobs and dicks. She would have, you know what? Benny, as a person, she probably would have not made out with Flint, and she would have pursued Stone. That's what her thing was.
Ah, yes. The lost love there. Mm-hmm. That's right. I've tried many times to introduce woman-on-woman relationships because I've been told that I do not have enough female love interest in the podcast. So I tried to fix that. And in introducing it, the very first thing that was met with was, oh no, Jet has baggage, you don't want that.
That's true. Oh, Jonathan immediately cockblocked. Or,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a bad
Rude.
word. I can't say that on
Beaver
Twitch.
damned?
So, if Eve could change anything to make the story streamlined, I would have done the ceremony to kill Yonsei in private.
Yes.
And I immediately thought about that as I was like getting pissed that I wasn't getting my way in the final episode. I was like, why the fuck are y'all even here? Like, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
I could have finessed the halo out of Benny and then just did it in private.
Yeah, you could have.
And no one would have
that
known.
either.
I'd have just literally, I would have just like, that would have been my ending scene. It's just, I become a god and I walk away.
By the way, becoming a god for Eve would have meant that he would have been an instant level 20 Eve. Like, he would have just given himself level 20 at that point, and if it was mid-battle, it was mid-battle.
Yikes.
So that was one of Eve's incentives
Wow.
to winning the fight.
But once again,
becoming a
I just
god.
want to say, I'm going to throw it out there for the 17,000th time. Eve was not trying to kill y'all. Eve just wanted Yonsei out of the picture. And y'all couldn't handle it.
That was on us.
Right, it wasn't against anyone else, it was for
Yeah.
you.
But yeah, I think I would have done the ceremony in private, got that out of the way, and then like had like my final words to all of you be like, all right, good luck, bitches. I'm out. You know, like I got what I wanted.
I never liked any
Deuces.
of you.
Right.
Goodbye.
Your God like
I
or
never
like
liked any of it.
your God has abandoned you. Goodbye. And then that's me. Yeah.
Yes.
The end.
Your god has abandoned you. Bye.
I don't think I'd change anything. I was really just happy with everything. And so much of it was improv or because of what someone else said that maybe I'd write more, but I learned after the first season that you write too much and you're not going to talk about it, or you're forcing it to like reach this point because I wrote it down. So I just started writing less and just making guidelines. I wish I would have made guidelines earlier on than trying to force a story that I had written. That's what I've learned from this. From here on out, it's going to be outlines, and I realize that I have an incredible cast that can improv things, and I'm just going to go with it.
You're welcome.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
I take my payments in ones.
Nickels. That
I'll
is.
throw some quarters at you.
You forgot the pickles. Sorry.
If I could have changed anything, I think I would have made the Dinosaur Island a bigger thing. Like, had us get stuck there for a while and actually explore what this psycho was doing.
Oh, your ass in the park. He was doing some
Dinosaur.
shit.
Yeah, I know he was doing
Like-
some shit, but the whole time we were like, we don't have time.
Don't care.
Yeah, get us off this fucking island.
I feel like if we had known that he was doing he was doing bad things to the dinosaurs, right?
Probably.
Yes. Yes, you
I
can
feel
know
like
now.
if Jet and Benny actually knew that, they would have like killed him because Jet is pro animal because of her dog, and Benny, I don't know, she probably would have found some justice in that or something. I don't know.
And Eve would have had a field day with all the dinosaur body parts.
Let me help.
No, honestly, Eve probably would have just been like on the boat, been like, okay, y'all do your thing, okay, bye. Like, I have a whole Yonsei that I need to go destroy.
You sick the dinosaurs on us. No, it was really fun.
You wouldn't change anything?
Like, honestly, I really enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
I think it was really good. Like, I think things could have come to a head earlier, but I think that they didn't. Makes it even more fun.
Easy enough. I loved the story. The story was amazing. I enjoyed it from start to finish. So, next question comes from Mitchie. What class or classes were you considering playing for your character?
That's
I
easy for
think-
me. That's
Okay.
easy for me. Rogue was the only thing that I had considered, and that's all that I would have played for Benny.
In your like audition, you played a rogue.
Yeah. I would only
Yep.
have played a rogue. Like, that's it.
I personally always play spellcasters, so I like to play a fighter is just not something I would consider. And this one kind of was a decision that was made a long time ago because this is not the first time I played Tara. I played her in a previous campaign with a friend of mine, and the audition for Roll Gay Roleplay was so like last second, we're going to do this in a couple days, so have a character and we'll do this. And I was like, fuck, I really like this one, so let's just do Tara. And she stuck.
Nice.
So no barbarian and kitten heels running around trying to charge people.
But
God.
this is a moment. Wait a second.
Great idea. Hang on. I'm starting to reconsider.
No. Jet was always going to be a fighter. This is the first time I'd really played D&D, and it just seemed like the easiest class to understand. They're all incredibly complicated once you start to level up, but that's it,
Yeah, I think the fighter just gets more attacks. That's like as complex as it gets.
Yeah.
right?
I've said this before, but whenever I like auditioned, I had Eve in my head as this paladin that was like super serious, but like a closeted gay man, who was like
Right.
yeah, super religious, but also like super gay, and like was going to be like very toxic about his masculinity. And then I don't know, something. Evil's always going to be a paladin because it fit the religion.
You were the one that switched your character from
I
your audition.
switched
No
it
one else did,
completely.
really.
Yeah.
You switched completely. Because you auditioned with...
Pollo Papillon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I had Chicken
Yes.
Butterfly. He was a French Canadian
Chicken
with
Butterfly.
that awful accent, and
You brought back
Yeah.
that character, didn't
I sure
you,
did.
For Patreon?
Pollo Papillon. Oui, oui.
Yes.
And then I came up with Eve, and then something was just like, I was watching something, and it said it was something about Yves Saint Laurent, and I was just like, that's my character's name, Saint Yves Laurent. And then I was like, okay, so what are you the saint of? And someone was like, I was drunk, and I was like, what do you know a lot of? And I was like, fucking Beyonce. And I was like, I am the founder and the first protector of the Church of Beyonce, and that is Eve. And me not liking Beyonce happened like season 2. I was just like, wait a second. Why does Eve have to like be a worshiper? Why can't Eve just be Beyonce? And so that's whenever the body parts started.
Just Beyonce.
Just
Yeah, I caught
kill
that too.
Caesar.
Yes.
Somebody kill Caesar.
Yeah.
And so that happened. But yeah, Eve was always going to be a paladin. And I felt like
Nice.
cleric was too open-ended. And like in terms of like staunch religion, you know, because not all clerics have to be like those cleric domains can get real trickery. Haha, you see what I did there? Anyway. So yeah, Eve was always going to be a zealous paladin.
I mean, you fulfilled that.
Absolutely.
Next question's from Rhea Roar. What would be the title of your character's unofficial biography and your own?
And your own.
My
Oh,
character's
goodness.
unofficial biography is conspiracies and what to make of them.
Cute.
My character, Tara's biography, would be called Putting the Me in Fame.
Oh my god. That's
And
good.
my
Wow.
biography would be called I'm an Architect.
I think Jet and mine would both be, you could have just stayed inside. In your home.
And mine would have been like, Eve, keep your friends close and the people you want to dominate closer. And my personal biography would have been like, not all teachers go home and sleep.
I feel like it should have been How to Be Beyonce.
Oh. But did I really succeed in that? I don't know. Don't read that book, girl, because it's bad. It's a lie.
It's not a number one.
It's a lie.
It's on the good seller list, not the best.
Oh my god.
Oh, we lost someone.
Katie.
Yeah, Katie hated that fucking joke so much.
Oh, she
That
went to
joke
the
was so bad.
I am so sorry. That was an accident and a total dumb bitch move.
You can turn your you did not mess up the stream at all. You're good.
fine.
Also, we're still cousins.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
Are we
think
not
Twitch is.
allowed to cuss?
I don't think so.
There's certain things you're not allowed to do. Like, you can't play like copyright in music.
Can you do jack off moves?
That is definitely a word you can't say on
That
Twitter or on TikTok.
Or
I'll
TikTok
tell you that.
because Christopher just got in trouble for that.
You can't say jack off on
there.
Twitter.
No, you
On
cannot.
TikTok?
And I've already been threatened. They're like, we will ban you if you keep this shit up. And I was like, all right, well.
Meanwhile, there's people with their whole ass out. I don't understand that.
I was
Right,
like,
I'm like, come on, I'm
there is
making a
literally a
joke.
hashtag dedicated to dick prints. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like,
It is wild, the people that wear like those outfits you can clearly see a dick in and like doing a weird wiggle dance.
right? And it's like, girl,
It's gross.
Like, don't
And
do
they
that.
keep it, but I did one and they're like, you can't wear shorts.
right.
What do you mean I can't wear shorts? They're just
They're
shorts.
you
There
were
was a
literally just
crease.
wearing shorts.
It wasn't. It
Your-
was just
your
shorts,
PP
and they're like,
wasn't
"That's a dick,"
showing?
and I was like, "Well, thank you, but
No,
you're
it
being
wasn't.
nice."
I didn't see.
She had
I
shorts
just
on.
saw the edited version with the emoji over the shorts.
That's what I had to do. Yep.
I don't know.
No
they
shorts on
just
TikTok.
want to keep
They told me specifically where it was.
like creative queers down. That's what TikTok
Yeah,
wants
they're
to
trying to quiet the white man.
They
Probably the
are.
most oppressed group of people is the...
The white man's dick. That's what's oppressed.
do. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Let's rise it up. Raise it up, everyone.
Just tired of it always getting shoved down our throats, you know?
Oh my god.
I'm not going to continue
Are we
this
just trying to
conversation.
push Twitch
Yep,
as
all
far
right.
as we can? Is
Yeah,
that the
what's
goal?
our...
Next question. Next question was actually from me. Will we see guest appearances from Mark in the new series?
Hopefully not.
How long do you want the episodes to be?
Yes. There is... How long do you want the episodes? I think that Hogum and Anamik's otherworldly time-dimensional adventures have been left up in the air. So I think there's absolutely potential for a Hogum return. Not even just a Mark return, but a Hogum return.
Nice.
And
Unfortunate.
Anamik. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Not story, not going to be part of the story, not going to be the part of the bad guy stuff, just a quick
Pop in.
stopping
I don't
point.
know.
Or is it?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if my new character will like Anami.
I
either.
think
Or this
that
is the start of my
leads. I think that
manipulation.
leads into a discussion on why we are so mean to Mark. Like, we love Mark. We love Mark. And we love Hogum's character. But it's bad, y'all. You do not hear what gets edited out. Literally 20 minutes of, but this car would have 2 seats in the back, you know. Yeah, but what am I supposed to be doing? You want me to respond to something you said 20 minutes ago? Well, what did you say again? Oh, okay. Wait, what do I have to
Like,
roll?
every turn doesn't know what his moves are.
So what do I hit?
Where am
what
I
do
at
I hit
and
with?
who am I near?
Oh my gosh. It's
Which dice is that?
his voice is so good for Hogum, and Hogum's character, when he acts in Hogum's character, is so on point. But it takes 40 minutes to get
2 minutes worth of product.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not fun to edit yourself getting like upset with your own husband.
Yeah.
Like there are some edits where I'm just like, motherfucker, would you just roll the goddamn dice? Oh, sorry, Twitch. Just ban me.
Yeah.
Say,
I
no,
mean,
but
it
for
feels
real.
it feels really mean. It feels like really mean to Mark, but
Yeah.
Mark gets it. He knows he's doing these
He
things.
knows. And that's what pisses me off
Right.
the most is that he knows that he's slow.
Right, he's aware and he still does it.
And I'm sitting here looking.
He loves it.
Like,
yeah.
girl, there was a flow here before you got here. Like, what happened? You know? No. I think I'm going to just toot my own horn at being the most terrible. I think I am the most vocal whenever Mark gets on the track. And
But
I'm
you
just,
always end every sentence with, you know I love you.
yeah. And you're great.
Right, but you and Mark are genuinely friends. Like
Yes.
it's not like a
Yeah, he actually is going to help me with
Like-
my Twitch stream. He sent me a message. He was like, hey, I know you want to live stream. And I was just like, yeah, I'm asking for your help.
He's going to have to help you with the next one because this one's going to get banned.
I think that I need a whole new profile. Thankfully, I have no followers. So, but yeah, I am glad that Mark might have a cameo in our new story arc. Please write out everything he's going to say. Write it out, Jesus.
he
Scripted
gets a
for him.
script. He gets a
Literally,
Yep.
and which you've done many times in the past. So,
script. I have given him a script before, yes. And we'll do it again.
The next question was actually for Chris only. Why did Annemiek hate the owl from Christian?
The owl is actually the equivalent of Anamiek's house arrest bracelet, right? Like, she was under house arrest with the guild for some time, and it was the owl that has been keeping track of her and keeping an eye on her. And so that's also when Loxif kind of lost contact with her, is when the owl stopped communicating back to Loxif. And it was this like shift of the owl realized that Anamiek's not really that bad and is like getting framed for it. So the owl kind of decided to work against the guild because he's working for the guild. It's actually a human named Clyde, but we never got to that point. I was going to get there with the finale, but again, Mark kind of just streamlined what was happening with Anamiek and Hogum, and I just let it happen. So, but yeah, that's what her hatred with the owl was, is that the owl was actually her house arrest bracelet and has been keeping tabs on her and reporting back to the guild, and she kind of wanted to remove that house arrest bracelet.
That makes
With
sense.
a man named Clyde.
With a man named Clyde.
Yes.
Okay, the last question from Stevie is actually, I mean, I guess it's kind of a question, but it just says play, fuck, marry, kill with other PCs.
Kill
Oh,
Joel.
Steve.
Kill Joel.
Okay, other PCs in this campaign. So there's Tara, Jet and Eve. I would fuck Tara, marry Jet, and kill Eve. Absolutely.
This game is fuck, marry, kill Eve.
I would fuck Mary
Yeah.
and then kill Eve, but then I would also fuck Tara and then I would marry Jet.
I think Tasha summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, but you didn't include Benny.
I'd marry my own character.
No, you have. Where's Benny? Katie,
I marry
Where's Benny?
myself.
you can't
I'd
marry
marry
your
myself.
own self. I feel shunted. Either kill me or fuck me. Jesus. God.
God, that was my grinder profile.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll do it properly then. Sorry. Let me come up with my answer.
I would marry Benny because I feel like she'd be super loyal, or go fucking crazy. I'm not really sure, but either way, we'd be in it together.
She would like go crazy in your honor.
Thank you. I would fuck Jet because we all know that she's flesh where it counts, I think is what was established. And then I would kill Eve just like everybody else.
That's great. I would marry Tara because she's the queen, and that's a lot of money, I think.
That's true. It all goes to outfits. None of it's,
The betterment of our city, village,
not
never
liquid.
that.
infrastructure. This corset needs some infrastructure.
It's not like she's an architect.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with Jet being the fuck and Eve being the kill. And Benny, you can watch whatever you want.
Watch you kill Eve.
Yeah, just stealth in a bush or something.
Yeah, I'll just go over here and eat some pickles out of this bucket. No worries. You enjoy yourself.
Stealth in the bush, if you know what I mean.
God.
I would. What is Eve attracted to besides like murder and death
Let's hope the answer's female.
and vengeance?
Yeah, right? If it's-
Yeah.
Like, because the more I played Eve was basically asexual.
oh,
Because men made advances on Eve.
Yeah.
And I had originally, like, Eve was just a very effeminate, asexual man. So I would fucking marry none of y'all hoes.
that's fair.
And
You
I
can
would kill
marry
myself.
even if you're asexual.
Fair.
Oh, also aromantic. And aromantic.
Okay.
Asexual and aromantic. Because I don't have friends, I have underlings.
That's fair.
And yeah, I think Eve would just kill himself or kill Yonsei. Because that's very on brand.
I like that you just added your own. Like, here are the parameters, and you're like, yeah, fuck them. Like, here,
Yeah, let
this
me
is
just
by
put the
decision.
parameters over here.
I'm just following the trend of our
Yes.
entire season 1 through 4, okay?
Yeah,
I do
agree
what I
with-
want.
I agree with that sentiment.
That's great.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
Katie, it's your turn to fuck someone.
Oh, yeah.
I think even Jet would have some really amazing sex. Like, I don't think there'd be any attraction whatsoever. Like, it would mostly just be like a physical exercise.
Oh, because we got both very muscular people.
Right? Like,
Want to work out?
So, like, the body worship, it would be immaculate.
yeah. Wow, your biceps are so great, babe. I'd probably marry Tara, and no offense, I'd probably kill Benny.
Yeah.
Just, I've been accused of betrayal one too many times.
Yeah.
fair.
Y'all didn't have the best relationship.
No. Not at all. No,
Not
I
in
think
the
that at one point, Jet actually punched Benny several times.
Did she?
Yeah. While under the
Under
spell
the
of her
tentacled
true
spell.
love.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The tentacle balls.
Oh.
Truly a Mary Sue.
All right, I think that wraps up my questions, and that was a fun one to wrap up with. So, I don't know.
I have one more thing for everybody before you guys go, though.
Oh, gross.
Oh,
like
don't
that
you throw their
smile.
shirt off.
Take off the
Take your
mesh
other
shirt.
Katie.
No, don't tell them to take anything off.
And I'm sending this to you directly, Nico, so you can enjoy this with us. This is a 2-minute and 13-second version. Yeah, let me just say this is supposed to sound like there is some physical things happening with everybody in the cast. I've basically taken little ums, uhs, moans, and things that we've said and turned it into a all-out orgy. Have fun.
No.
No.
I don't want to.
The fabled moans track?
I'm going to make this my alarm clock in the morning so I can just wake up to it every day.
I hate you so much.
Before we listen, let's call it a night. And thank you, Nico, for hosting.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank
tell
you,
us
Nico.
where we can find you again.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me. Actually, we are on afoolsquest.com. We've got the A Fool's Quest. It's a comedy show. It's very slapstick, very funny. I think it's very funny, but I love to toot my own horn. And then we have a second show that is releasing right now, and Tisha is actually on it. So if you enjoy listening to Tisha, you can come find her on our spin-off miniseries called Ethereal Embrace. And all of that is on afoolsquest.com. The links for both shows. And then also I kind of am in the Gay Role Play Discord chat. So if you want to say hi to me, I will be there.
Y'all, the Foley work and like editing effort that goes into A Fool's Quest is insane.
Yeah, agreed.
It's very impressive.
It's a great show if you don't listen to it. It's a great, great show.
Thank you. We spent a lot of hours doing all of that sound effects and music.
Can we do like a low-key reveal of our characters? Like at least say our names?
Yeah, sure.
How do y'all feel
Alright.
about that?
Yeah.
We'll be playing. I'm a fan for that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll go first because I've decided that. I'm Tisha, and my new character's name is Edith Wins Thereafter.
Huh?
I love it, Edith.
The last name wins thereafter?
Yes.
I stand. Okay. Hi, I am Jonathan, and I play Florals in Spring.
Hi, my name is Katie, and I'll be playing Scarlet Chapo.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and I play Humphrey Evan After.
That's
Ew,
funny.
Your character's name was Humphrey?
Thank you.
Humphrey.
Ew, your character wears a cape?
No, my character does not wear a cape, you prostitution whore. As I look at my character does not wear a cape.
It's a cape-led.
I'm Chris the DM, and I'm going to DM the next season as a bunch of characters, and I don't have any names for them yet, and I probably won't until we record. I might even just randomize them.
Nastia Lucan.
Nastia Lucan.
Yes,
That's who
Nastia
I'm playing.
Lucan.
All of my characters are Nastia Lucan,
And she's just a really good gymnast.
which of course I can do a perfect impression of.
Just a really good gymnast.
She's just a really good
Just a lot of
gymnast.
flips.
Just a lot of flips.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Nico.
Be gay. Roll dice.
An LGBTQIA actual play podcast network.
I give you the Moans track.
I'm also just always wanting sex.
Hey.
Like always.
Woo.
I love cock.
Fuck me.
Oh no, now my hole's twitching.
Go at 'em.
Warm me up with my tongue and my pussy.
Rawr.
Rawr.
Murder this thing.
Oh my god, furry flaps.
Num 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 num.
Oh my god.
Wow. Damn.
Play with my mouth.
Whoa.
Look at this Hoover and eat my mouth.
You use a lot of tongue.
God.
Oh, fuck. God, yes.
Oh yeah. Murder it.
God, that feels so good. God. It feels so good.
All right, give it to me.
I can do it at an angle or.
You want gaping holes? I've got one.
Nice.
Look at this stick. Isn't it neat?
Jesus. Oh, my Packers and Chiefs right now.
Real smooth.
Oh my God, Benny.
Oh my god. I am sweating.
Hot.
Lord.
Oh,
God. Squeal.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Gosh.
Oh god.
Hateful little bitch.
Yeah.
I'm just a holster.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Shit.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Oh. And that's how you make cottage cheese.